Okay, we're on lesson 22, and it's multiple fractional factors. In other words, multiplying more than just two fractions at a time. So this is on page 76, and it says to multiply 56 over 27 times 14 over 21 times 15 over 22. So now, remember, we can cancel straight up and down, or we can cancel diagonally. So that means we could cancel this way, this way, this way, this way, or we could cancel all the way from 56 to 22 and 27 and 15. So any of those are possibilities, okay? When I look at this, something stands out at me, like immediately, that in this middle fraction, 14 and 21 are both divisible by 7. So I'm going to cancel 7 here and make that a 2, 7 here and make that a 3, just to start with. Now we're going to look other places and see what else we can cancel. And there's all different ways to do this. Don't think because you don't necessarily do it the same way as I do that it's not correct. There are a lot of different ways that you could do it. I'm just seeing that 3 goes into itself once and into 15 5 times. Another thing that jumps out now is the 2 and the 22. So 2 goes into itself once, and 2 goes into 22 11 times. And now we're going to be limited. Let's see if there's anything else. 11 doesn't go into 56. 5 doesn't go into 27. So it looks like we're going to have to multiply whatever is left over. So we're going to have to multiply 56 times 5. And in the denominator, we're going to have 27 times 11. All right, so 56 times 5. 5 times 6 is 30. 25 and 3 will be 280 over 27 times 11, 7, 2, 7, 2. So that'll, oops. Oh, goodness. That will be 297. And 2 and 8 is 10, so that's not divisible by 3. 2 and 9 is 11, and 7 it is, but it doesn't matter because the numerator isn't. They're not both even. They aren't both divisible by 5, so that's in its reduced form. Okay, so we could multiply as many as they wanted. If they wanted to put 4, we could do that also. But in the next one, we have 2 that are multiplied and 1 that is divided. So we have 26 over 30 times 21 over 39, and then that's divided by 4 over 15. So remember, we don't divide by fractions. We change this to times and we multiply this by the reciprocal, and the reciprocal you just put it upside down. So I'm just going to copy these the same because now they're all multiplied. So now we can cross cancel just like we did in the last one. So you can look at that and see what you think. I look for the biggest numbers that I can take out of any factor because it makes the fraction small real quick. So I look at 26 and 39 because 13 goes into 26 twice and it goes into 39 3 times. So that took those two down in a hurry. Another thing now I can do is take 3 into itself, and 3 into 21 is 7. We could take 15 into itself and 15 into 30. Then we have a 2 over a 2. Well, anytime you have a number over itself, that just cancels out to be 1. So let's see, we have 1, 7, and 1 left in the numerator, so that's 7. We have 1, 1, and 4 left in the denominator, so that's 4. So all of that reduces to 7/4. Okay? So you can multiply as many fractions as they give you, and it's not going to be any different. You can do that. Just remember, if there is a division symbol, that you have to change the division to multiplication and multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so let's go on to lesson 23. On page 79, it says, no, actually on page 78. First of all, you have to memorize these if you don't know them. There are 12 inches in 1 foot. There are 3 feet in 1 yard. There's 5,280 feet in 1 mile. And then on the next page, there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. And there are 2,000 pounds in 1 ton. All right, so all of these you're going to have to use over and over and over again. And we'll add to them in future lessons, but you need to have those memorized, okay? All right, so the first problem says use a unit multiplier to convert 420 feet. So this is the way I want you to do it. Set up a box. We start out with 420 feet, and we're going to go to yards. So we want to end up with yards. I'm going to make a note to myself. So looking back at this, feet and yards, the conversion will be 3 feet in a yard. So if I want feet to cancel, it means I need to have feet down here, don't I? So they'll cross cancel just like we did with those fractions. We're going to yards, so this will be 3 feet and 1 yard. Okay? This is called a unit multiplier because it's the same as 1. 1 yard, 3 feet are exactly the same thing. So it's like saying 2 over 2. Remember, that was 1. This is also 1. And we can multiply by any form of 1. So looking at this fraction, this and this will cancel out, which means our units will be yards. And now we take 3 into itself, that's 1. And 3 into 420 will be 140. So this would be 140 yards. And the reason I want you to use this method is because when you get into chemistry and physics, you're going to have different unit multipliers, but sometimes you could have a formula and maybe you forgot whether something was squared or you forgot whether it was supposed to be divided by. You can actually manipulate the units around to figure out what the formula was supposed to be. All right, so just get in the habit of using this method for unit multipliers. The next problem says use a unit multiplier to convert 72 inches, so that goes in the box, 72 inches to feet. Okay, so you can look back at the chart. There's 12 inches in a foot. I need inches down here so that they will cross cancel. So just write the unit multiplier. 12 inches, 1 foot. Okay, inches will cancel out. And how many times does 12 go into 72? Okay, so that's right, it's 6 feet. So that's the answer. This is your unit multiplier. It tells you to use a unit multiplier. All right, the next one says use a unit multiplier to convert 4.6 miles to feet. I'm going to feet, and I'm just going to write down here there's 5,280 feet in a mile. Okay, I need miles down here, so they'll cross cancel, which means feet is going to go up here. So here it is. There's the unit multiplier we need to use. 5,280 feet in 1 mile. Okay, well the units, the miles cancel. But now in this case, everything is in the top or the numerator of the fractions, isn't it? So because there's nothing in the denominator, all we do is multiply. 5,280 times 4.6. So look back at this last one. Okay, see, this was in the numerator. This was in the denominator. That's why we divided 12 into 72. This one. This was the numerator, and this was the denominator, so we had to divide. On this one, however, everything is in the numerator. So we have 0, 48, 12 and 4 is 16, 31, put a 0, another 0, 32, 8 and 3 is 11. Okay, so we have 0, 8, 8, 2, 4, 2. Decimal has to be moved over one place. So the decimal has to be moved over one place. So the answer is 24,288 feet. And don't forget to put the units on these problems. I'm not picky about units in most cases, but when it's a unit conversion problem, you have to show the units in your answer, okay? Because that's what the problem was all about. All right, so let's try another one of these. It says use a unit multiplier to convert 4 tons to pounds. So we're going to pounds. And we remember that there's 2,000 pounds in a ton. So where do I need to put tons to cancel? If I made a mistake and put tons up here, would they cross cancel? No. Okay, and that's a way that you can always check. So I need to put tons down here, which means pounds goes up here, and it says that there are 2,000 pounds in a ton. So here, the tons cancel. And we have 4 times 2,000, which is 8,000 pounds. Okay? All right, so get used to using this method right here. It'll save you in the long run. For Saturday's lesson, it looks like we're going to start using the metric system. So we'll use the unit multipliers from the metric system as well. But we'll get to that Friday night. Okay. I hope you do very well on your test, and I will talk to you Friday night, if not before. Like I said, if you have questions on this video, you need to give me a call. Have a good day.